Yes, hello. Yes, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. Welcome back to this new programming videos with OSP Pro. In this video for C programming, we are going to cover up 99% of C programming. We're going to be starting right from basics, right from just complete introduction to C program. So this video is going to basically help everyone who would like to start programming. Now, I don't know how long it may take. It may happen to be like 1 hour or 1.5. Let me just not waste any of your time. I'm just going to start straightforward, and we'll see how can we start up C programming. Now, C was introduced in the early 70s, but that was in 72. It was made mainly for the Unix or for making of the operating systems. Now, I may not go much into the history of the C, but let us now see straightforward go into how to start making up a C, programming C. Now, one thing I have to let you know, C is a programming language. It being a programming language, you need editors. Now, there's something known as editor. Editor is just like you see this dev++. If I also have maybe, if you know, you have ever used worked with one known as Notepad++ or Sublime Text. An editor is just a platform whereby you'll be writing your pieces of codes. Now, C is very unique, whereby you need to have an editor. Any editor can program C, as long as you have to have a compiler installed. Now, in a simple term, there are some editors that don't have compiler. That implies you have to set everything on command prompt. Then you can program C from command prompt. Now, today I'm not actually going to be using command prompt. I'm going to just come with just going to be using one as dev++. I may actually show you some later on how to download dev++, but if you have dev++ installed in your machine, or there's another editor known as Boland, Taboo, you can also download C Free. Is also one of the good editors for programming C at the same time as C++. Now, I have to let you know one thing. Why do we use those editors that has a compiler like dev++? It's because actually C needs a compiler. Compiler, this is like ability of the software or ability of that editor to check for the errors on a static C program. Now, dev++ you just save. If it is not Notepad++, you just save the program, but does not check for the error. That implies you have to have another compiler inside your machine that will check for the error, and which actually later on should also be in position to check if there is no error, return that application, that codes of yours into what known as an application. Now, today at the moment, I may not go into all of that. We just take it straight into our dev++. So this is dev++. Let's double click on it, and then we start up our programming. So I'm starting up my dev++, as I'll be explaining for you, my friends, about the codes and explaining how to use dev++. If I told you I've never used dev++, please don't still worry. I'm going to let you know more about what's dev++ and how to use it. So after you open it up, I say this is it, dev++. Just double click on it. I will show you the installation on the video. Please don't worry. So this is dev++. You have here the files. You have edit, you have site, view, project, execute, tools, style, window, and help. So let me just go and explain all of them at the moment, because actually I'm not talking more about dev++. I'm just going to show you straightforward how to start using it. So go to files, then go to one known as new source files, and inside of there, that's where now it's the platform you can always use now to be putting in your C programming codes. Second, also you can also hold Ctrl with M, hold control with N, and I think you can now see that we have now opened up another place where we can be making a program. So let me just close that one and let me leave this one here. So here, this is where now we're going to be writing our C codes. We just go first of all to make change on this editor. Let's try to make it a bit bigger so that we can start up our programming. So go to Tools and what known as Edit Options, and then let's go to what known as Font. Let's increase this one to bit, maybe I'm going to use maybe 15 because I'm extending to you guys, so I need you guys to see what I'm doing. So far that's a bit good, because at least I expect that to be kind of big. So I think that's a bit good. Now also, let us now try to see how to start up a C program. Now this is really the editor we have, and that's how our C looks like. The editor we're going to be writing from. Now let me explain to you this again. How do you start writing up a C program? To start writing up a C program was built in the form of the libraries. So we pick most of whatever you'd like to write inside the editor, or inside the actual in your editor, should be coming from a C programming library. So if you install an editor which is having a compiler that has ability to run a C program, then it will have a compiler inside it. Secondly, as it has a compiler, then it also has the library inside it which will be in position to run a C program. Now let me just take you straight here now. We shall always start with the hash include, explain to you that. stdio hash. Whereby this stdio or this hash means the preprocessor directive. So what this is coming from is a programming library which try to say, please include for me the standard input output dot header. So this one is a library which will enable you to pick all the standard input and output information from the library in this editor to cross-check and say that what I'll be doing is going to be a C program. So I would like you to include from all the ability to type in and also the ability to type, to print out what I happen maybe to type in, so that I can only see what maybe I happen to put inside there in the program. So that's the main aim of this studio. So you can always cross-check on the spelling, don't forget that. Then another thing that I should also let you know at the moment is that this is the very initial and the best first thing you should always import or should always include inside your C program, because if it is not there, then it will not run. Next thing that is also needed or there that will be mined up to some extent is one known as conio. Now this conio simply, in a simple term, will be making our C program to run smoothly. There's not much big point we'll be doing if at all we don't happen to include, but still to also going to make our C program to run smoothly without any problem. If there's an error, always to indicate for us where the error it is and where the line of codes which is affected or which has not been written well. Okay, if that's it, then that's great. Now remember, still after we knowing all what we happen to say so far, I said don't forget these are the preprocessor directive that you should always first of all include into your C program before you bring any other stuff. Now that's what so far we simply say at the moment. Now let's go into one as end main. Here we can leave void, or we may not happen to be void. Now let me explain to you again also here. Now this what you are saying is what I can simply call the structure of a C program. So if tomorrow they happen to ask you, or if tomorrow maybe if you're a student and they have to ask you, give the structure of the C program, that's how the C program structure simply looks like. Now let me also explain to you something here that int is just data type, which is an integer counting number, Then the main is the main function. You may not understand it at the moment, but in brief, what I will simply say that C runs in this way. It has those functions that enables it to run. So this is the way how C program was built. So if you have something like this, as long as the editor you're using was built in a way whereby it can run a C program, then to enable to using this kind of piece of code to just understand that this is a C program. And then the void means do nothing. So we can either have it there in the program or we may not have it. So still work the same. Now otherwise also you could also put one as arguments there inside your C programs, whereby you may set arguments for the top of the arguments. You can always include the arguments inside our C program here. But I as a person, I may not happen actually to include them there in our program. But it's just a good practice to have those kind of stuffs inside your C program. So I'm not going to use it there today at the moment. I'm just going to be so brief, but to make you guys understand in details what we're going to be doing. Now I've said this is the structure for C program, and we have this return 0, which simply try to tell the program that please turn 0 error. If there's an error in my program, please indicate it for me and show me where the error is. That's when we use return 0. There's another method, so you can also even ignore this end and just have your C program like that. Still remembers it will run. Now there's another option whereby you can also have your C program with the void, but whenever you use a void, please don't use return 0. Instead, have the program just like that. So it is your choice. What you want to use, how you want to use your C program. If you want to use it whereby it is having void, then make sure you don't have return 0. Now for today's case and for my case here at the moment, I'm not going to use void. I may use it in another programs or in the other systems after this video. So members, if you are watching this video for the first time, please members, I request you make sure you subscribe to my channel for this continuing programming videos that we shall always be updating every week. Now these videos are mainly for Ghana developer and OSP Pro. Now members, let me come back inside here. This way we're going to be enable ourselves to write a simple program. So this is the syntax or structure of our C program. Let's now go to saving. How do you save a C program? Now I'm just going to create a simple file in my desktop because that's where maybe I'm going to be handling this C program. I'm just going to say maybe YouTube C. So I'll be putting my program inside here. You can always create up your own folder there. Then you can always go and be putting this program. So I'm just going to save this. Go to File, Save As, and then proceed. Go to the desktop, and that's it. I've already selected that, so you can always double click on it. I'm just going to say maybe complete. I'm just going to say complete calculator C. Complete C program. So we're going to be at least handle 90% of C. And make sure after writing your name, writing the program, please don't make any space within your C program here between the letters. Please make sure the letters are together, and also if you can always use the camera tracing, I think you can see mine that letter is capital, and then any other ones you should join in the small letters, something like that. Then the save as type, please whenever you're dealing with the C, don't save it as C++. Instead save it as C source files. So click on C source files and then you click save. Something like that. If you already have that, then that's good. Now inside here, we're going to be making our C program and how to print out the statement. Just like I've loved to let you know at first that this is the structure, but if you happen to go to compile, which last time I happened to talk about and never did explain, what's to compile? The compiling is whereby when compiling is now the process whereby the C source codes will be checked and the errors will be checked in our program. And otherwise, if it finds no error, then this complete C program.c, it will turn into one as complete C program.exe. Now, whereby exe is executable file, which is, I can simply say, ready to run in a computer, and otherwise, or what someone else could simply say is an application. So let's go to compile our C program. When you click check on compile, I think you can see down here is now processing and checking for checking for errors. At the same time also, when after there's no errors, you will be seeing our program turn into an executable file. Just give assumption at first. Our program was being called one as our source code is called a complete C program. I don't see, but if you try to see here down now, we shall be having an extension, or we shall be having another program created inside the same file known as complete C program.c.exe, which is an application, whereby even when you check on the server's type or the type of the file is called application. Let me just take you back into where we happen to put our folder, which is here. So when you double click on it, you'll discover that for sure we shall be having a complete C program, which is you see on the type is the C source file. In simple terms, this is what known as the source codes that we can simply see. It's this one here, those codes of ours. And if you try to proceed here, this is what known as application, which is really run in people's machines. So when I double click, will just come and go off because there's no any piece of code there yet to tell the program that should do this. So there's nothing yet there. There's no command yet inside there. And let's just go back against to F1 inside here and try to do some other stuff and try to make sure we happen to out here. So let me just show you here how to print up a C statement. So whenever you want to print up a C statement, you type on as print, then you say F, whereby F means a function. So main is a good function in a C program, whereby anything that you need to print should be inside the C. It should be inside the main. So main starts from this opening curly brackets and this closing curly brackets. So whatever will be inside here, it's main that is governing it. So you have always to include in main the main function, this function at the end of it, because main is a function, and for anything to be printed should be inside that main function. To present that thing is under main function, always put the one as F at the end of it. Okay, just make it brief that way so that you guys can always understand it. So always in the C program end with the same column, whereby with the same column simply means that the line of code ends that terminates the ends up a C program. In a simple term, it will end up that block of code. If it is inside there, that will need to be printed. Then inside this double quotes, we shall be putting the one is inside this brackets, we shall be putting there two quotes, whereby inside these two quotes, that's where we shall be putting up the statement that we would like to be printed out. Like give assumption, but say maybe hello world, whereby this one hello world is a statement that I would like to be printed down on the screen. So if this is the statement we would like to be printed down on the screen, you put it inside double quotes and make sure you put the same column outside, so that whenever you happen to build the program, you don't get any error. So you just go straight to save this program and I show you that. So always in a C program, as long as you have modified any piece of code, if you don't forget, always try to first compile to shape that program, compile the program, and then maybe happen to run it also. Now there's this one run, it runs after you compile it, but there's this one compile run. In a simple term, to compile your C program, then after it will run if at all you're using Dev++. So to compile, I think you can compile, and after compiling, it will just run straight, and that's it. And I think now you can see, my friends, you have just succeeded at the moment learned how to print a C program with one known as hello world. So you can always change this statement which is inside here. You can even see maybe hello world, maybe I'm always P, if that's it. So you can also just come down here and try to make sure that I print another block of line. Let's try to reduce it real fast. That's it. Let me say that's what we have so far at the moment. So I already happened to place and say, now this is it. So you can always write this maybe hello world, always P with you and a developer if that's what you have there with you. That's good. Now let me just explain this because this is going to take us to another step. Now simply here, this is printf, whereby it will be printing for us this one hello world, and printf this one also, and also I'm always people with the Ghana developer. Maybe that's what you have. So don't forget to always put in the same column. I know if guys, I don't know if I happen to ask you a question at the moment in this meantime. If at all I happen to compile this program, still no, there's no error because I don't expect error when my code is okay. What if I don't have a semicolon at the end of the program and maybe I happen to save and then I go to compile? How will the C program happen to shake? I think you can always see what is indicating for us that there's error somewhere there, and you can see always it's telling us in line 6. I think you can see line 6 here, and it's telling us actually it's expected the same column before return. In other words, you can always do this. You can always put a same column there in your C program, or you may even, when you happen to run maybe compile, I think you can see there's no error this time around. Or if you don't want to put a semicolon immediately after your C program like that, you can ignore there. Instead, what you do, you come down immediately there down and put up your semicolon there. Make sure that code, this code ends there. MySQL eliminates here. Your C will not actually happen to give you any error if you have to do so. So when you happen to compile like this and maybe happen to run, you'll discover that there is no error in our C program. Instead, everything will be printed out for us in one spot of line or one single line or in a single line. So members, let's now try to check how can we solve that. You try to say, we said print this, and we said print this one also. At the end of the day, we thought that this will be an independent line, then this will come up with another independent line. But our surprise, everything happened to be on one single line. I think you can just happen to see if I happen now to run this program, everything is in the same, actually in the same line. The piece of code that we happen now to build. So this is it. You discover that everything is one line. Why? It's because we have some stuff that we have now to go through. So let me just take you straight forward. It one as the backslash character, and then we wind up with other stuff. Now let me show you other stuff here now. How do you deal with that to get that kind of stuff? We have some stuff which we call backslash character. Now a backslash character, what does it do? These are special characters for C program that enables us to add some good features and functionality into our C program. Give assumption like those pieces of code, if I wanted them to be in an independent line, this one will be an independent line and this one must be an independent line. We use backslash character. So I'm just going to show you maybe 3 forms of backslash character. One is called one is going to be one as a backslash n. I'll also show another one called backslash t. We shall also have another one called backslash k. Then members, you can always practice with. So let me start with backslash n, and later on I'll show you the comments first. So what's backslash n? A backslash n simply means go to the next new line. So there are many different ways how to use backslash characters. Just try to move them from there and try to show you just maybe a quick program so I don't confuse all of you. Remember, this is a comment. I'll explain to you just after the backslash character. So backslash n simply saying go to the next new line. So I can always put down here on this program here, inside there. Whenever you're using the backslash character, please make sure you're inside the double quotes, because otherwise if you're outside here, the double quotes will not work for you to instead of give the error. So you can always put backslash n. Backslash n simply means that after this block code of line is done with after the program compiling it, when it comes to time of compiling this one and printing it out, it should, whenever it sees this backslash n, in simple term will tell the next code which is after the backslash n that please you go to the next new line. That's simply what the backslash character simply means. So we try to compile here, and maybe we happen to run it. You'll discover that the other first statement, which is called hello world, is now in an independent line just as we've been expecting. And I'm always pro with the Ghana developer. You should also find it in an independent line. In other words, you can even put a backslash character inside just your statement. Give assumption here, I can just happen to put backslash character just inside here in my program, just like that. Okay. So if you try to cross-check, is that if I happen to compile my program, nothing wrong, because don't forget, whenever you try to happen to modify your C program, it's always you always have to try to compile it again so that you don't get errors in your program. Otherwise, it will not print for you that modification happening into the program. So when you happen to run it now, you find that we shall be having 3 independent lines. It's because I happen to put backslash character, backslash n, just immediately after with. So that's it, my friends. That's good. Let us look at backslash t. How does backslash t simply look? Backslash t simply behaves like a tab. It forms a tab in our machine in the program whereby it extends the information like this. If I press a tab like that, you will see a statement for you like that. So we don't want to be doing a lot of manual in the program, otherwise it will not even work. So the best way is to apply what one has the piece of code that can enable us to write such kind of stuff on independent line. So if you happen to come back here, you can just put backslash t, and does not matter how many times you use them in the program. So this one simply is going to move this hello world by just one tab. So I think now you can see the statement which was here is now extended to this side by one tab. So you can even add it more if you want. It will depend on how you want your program to look like. If you happen now to add another T and maybe happen to save the program, you will simply see that the program is extended in front. Just like that. I think you can see that our program is extended. So my friends, that's how you can always use the backslash T. You can make your system and try to design it using backslash T. Try to modify it. Now we have backslash A. This backslash A simply means alert. It will produce for us a sound if at all we happen to add inside your program. So my friends, I don't know how you can actually use it, but you can always make it whenever you know that the system is going to be having maybe kind of transaction, or you like to have some alert in the system to tell someone some stuff after someone doing it. If it is wrong, then if alert, if it is correct, maybe I don't know how you're going to frame your system, but I'm just showing here the complete introduction to C programming, and make sure you be on the platform where you'll be doing some good stuff. So let me just show you here. If you put backslash n anywhere within there, this is what will happen when I compile. There's nothing. I think I'm not hearing any sound from my machine, but if I happen now to go to run, you should expect that is a sound. You see? Yeah, sound like that. Now that sound is coming because of the backslash. So members, that's it. Thanks for coming back from that session. Now let me also explain to you another stuff as we proceed. We have what known as a comment. And you see, a comment in programming is different from someone commenting like with someone's Facebook wall or on Twitter, or I don't know, whatever you may be using, or the social media using. Now, comment is not something like that. Comment in C programming, I will simply talk about C. Comment simply means making having the codes, but the compiler will not see them by the time of checking for the errors and try to tweak the codes. In otherwise, that's program you happen to do, the compiler will not see it at all, and also since it will not see it, it will not be printed out for us. Now this code right here, we gave 4 slides like that. Now that's the single line comment. There are 2 types of comment. We have a single line comment, we have a multi-line comment. They're always done by the programmer, and you write there pieces of code. So this is maybe a comment. That's literally is a comment. If you try to proceed, that piece of code, if I happen to compile it here, it will not be printed out for us on the screen. If I happen to comment down here and I happen to compile, you discover that that piece of code will just remain like that. I think you can see, you couldn't see anything on the screen. But otherwise, if it was also in a printf statement that you will print, and I say maybe this is a comment. If I have that also in my piece of code, just don't explain to that. If I happen to comment this in front here, you will discover that as I happen to run here, you will discover that my C program is not going to be showing anything like that. So if I happen to run here, we shall get nothing, because my statement which has been printed out is simply commented. Otherwise, the compiler is not seeing it. statement. Now members, as I'm proceeding, let me just try to share these things so that you can get normally how the real coding is. Let us go back into tools and go to editor options and then just go to color. On color here I'm going to use Video Studio so that you guys can be seeing how my stuff is going to work. So this is it. I'm just trying to show you so that you can check all my stuff. So that's it. So this is a comment. So printf, this is a comment. Otherwise, what's not commented or what's not a comment is what will be printed out for us now on the machine or on our program. So that's it. So this one here is what we expect not to be printed, to be printed. This is not a comment. Otherwise, it will be printed for us on our system down. So this is it. When happen to compile this program and maybe happen to put it down, we will discover that now the program is running. So that's it. It's not a comment, so that's why it's going to run for us. So remember, that's it. Let's show another type of comment, which is called multiplying comment. With the multiplying comment, for it you write two forward slash, but in between them you write multiplications. So just make sure you put multiplication somewhere. So this maybe is multiple line comment. Now for it you can write a number of lines, all many number of lines that you would like to happen to write it in. So this is it. I happen to write mine like that, so you can write as many. That implies you would like maybe happen to have many of your printf statements, and you maybe not like them to be printed out for you guys on the screen. So that's how you can always write your comment. Is it okay? So just follow the same example happening for a single line comment or the multiplying comment. That's great. Now let me also show again some other stuff within our program, which next is going to be how to use what known as variables. Now in C programming we really have what known as variable. What's a variable? Now a variable simply refers to the format. A variable simply refers to an element which is holding a place value of another element. I'll just give a simple definition so that I can illustrate for you. Give assumption. If you remember from our secondary level or primary level, where we used to maybe have something like this, that you get that A is equal to maybe 1. Now, if you remember from the second level of the primary level in those high school where you used to study, when we say A is equal to maybe 1, in a simple term, we are trying to say whenever we shall be finding A in the program, or whenever A will be asking the program, it will be equivalent to 1. So in a simple term, what those people are trying to tell us that A is a variable. Now in this time around, whenever we can also write a program whereby we need to put a variable somewhere, because there's something that maybe we should always continue asking the system that we would like to be using them. Now let me come back down here. To go to a variable in a C programming, if this is it, if it was maybe A is equal to 1, and maybe C would be a semicolon, because I told you whenever you write a C program, in a piece of code, you should put a semicolon. If I put this kind of stuff, a C program will not understand it here, because it does not know variable alone. It knows that a variable should be linked with a data type. So what's a data type? A data type simply refers to the format in which how this piece of code will be stored inside our C, inside the C. How will that piece of code be stored? So to the simple term, it will be talking about the storage size of that, what known as the program if we happen to make of your variable. So in C programming, we have very many, actually, like 4 to 5 data types that I'm going to explain to you here. We have 8. Whereby integers they hold for counting numbers. Now, if I happen now to say int, then I happen to put there maybe A. Okay, now that implies I'm declaring a variable. So I have the variable called A, maybe variable A, and I say maybe A is equal to having maybe 1. So in a simple term there, I'm trying to tell this program that this is an integer. So the storage for our integer, I say integer counting number, whatever will be seen there to be known as integer. In simple term, to not be letters, don't put again A, then you say letters here. You find in simple term to not understand, because you really told the program is going to be integer. So that implies A is equal to maybe 1 or anything, as long as it's a counting number. So in the simple term, the storage for that step for the program will be for counting number. So if you happen to come back down here and I say maybe print, and I say maybe print for us A, you will discover to print A, I will say maybe value for A is, now if you want to say find the value for A, which means for us to know here, a C program will not understand what you're trying to tell or what you're trying to tell the program. It will say the value for A is, now if you want this value for A, which is 1, to be printed for you here down, you have to consider the data type. Now the data type is an integer, and in the program we try to consider that we're using %d. And outside here, you should always put the name of this data type, which in this case is A. So you put it outside here, whereby to now understand that, hey, you're asking me the storage for an integer, and that integer in the simple term we happen to put this side down, which is A. Definitely it knows that in this program it should be 1. So definitely if you happen to compile and save and compile this program, you will discover that you happen to explain the piece of code, and then if you try to run, it will tell you the value for A is 1. Otherwise, if you don't do those steps, it will not show you anything. It will not run it for you. So members, that's how we use integers. Now there's also one known as a dog, it is meaning a float. A float, this refers to an integer with, actually for a float, sorry, a float simply refers to also data type, but for them they have decimal place value. They store numbers with the decimal place value. Give assumption, if I say 1, that implies to be 1 point something 0, 0. So it will be consisting of numbers with decimal place value. So if I still happen to compile this program and may be happy to run it, you discover that now it will give me 0. Why? I think maybe you guys are following me, getting me now. You'll discover that here, what I've said is correct. And even what I've said here is correct. But the time came in to print out. Remember, when you're never using integer, we use %b. But whenever you're using a float, instead of %d, we shall use %f. Like that. So when happy to compile this program, then the program will understand that, oh, they can't tell me what's inside there. It's going to be a float. So a float, the storage for float is one should be catered for. So in other words, when you happen to run this program now, we shall be getting just like I've said to you 1.000, and they have to be approximately 60. So that's it, my friends. Do not take a lot of time there. There's also a double. You can also put in a double in your program. So a double also stores numbers with the decimal place value, but the difference between a double and a float is that a float stores numbers with the decimal place value, but the storage is less. And a double, it stores numbers with decimal place values, but the storage is big. So that's the only slight difference between the float and the double. I think you can see if I happen to run this program, it will give us the same answer. Is it okay? But don't forget the difference if at all you're still at school level and you're still studying, members don't confuse the two. The difference between a float and a double, always you can pretend this like I've said to you, the float, the storage is less, and the double, the storage is more, but more, the similarity is that they all store numbers with the decimal place values. There's also one known as a boolean, whereby a boolean for you to treat for one as true or false. Is it okay? Whether the stuff is true or false. So I may not show you right in this program here, but I also have to let you know that you also can cross check your answer. So that's it. So I also have one known as char. So a char is simply stores numbers with the so it does not store numbers, in other words, it stores letters. So how does char behave? So give us something, maybe if I say maybe if I give us something to say grade, something like that. Or if I simply say maybe grade. So a char simply stores a single character like A, B, C, D, something like that. So if I define my variable like that and happen to say maybe I would like to pick it down. So how does char be taken inside C programming if I want to present it out? A char will take this code of mine in the C programming as %C. Remember, this one here will only store as a single character. You get me? So give assumption and say grade and say maybe grade is equal to having there, which I use a simple process is going to be a character. Maybe it's D. So I may simply say otherwise my grade is D or A. So if that's what you're trying to program, that my grade is that, I can always come down here and print it. Don't forget to use a print function. So you can also come back and tell the program that maybe my grade is %C. Whereby %C is equal to, will be telling the C program that, oh, you're saying %C, that's it, a single character. And otherwise, after doing so, you will always have to put this program this way around, paste it there. And if you happen to save this, I think you will discover there is no error. The thing is that I said shall store as a single character, like A, like I've seen here. And otherwise, it will be printing down. It will be printing for us the value for A. Which value for A, which is a grade, to be printing this, taking this side here as grade. So expect it to give us A. So that's it. So if you happen to come back and maybe happen to run, you should be getting that my grade is A. So my friend, that's it. And there's another data type that maybe I haven't explained to you that I may explain to you at this point here. Is what known as a string. So what's a string? A string is like a group of characters. Don't forget that, my friend. There's a sham, which is a single character, and there's also one known as a string, which is a group of characters, like someone's name, something like someone's name will expect more than 3 characters around it. So how do you utilize such kind of stuff, and how do you do them in the C program? So this is it. With a sham, we always, with a string, as this is what we mean a string, is a group of characters. Remember, I've already explained to you about comment. If you know, you have forgotten, please don't forget actually how we happen to write it down. Now get me again back here. We already say that a string is a group of characters, but how do you write them in C? A C program will understand a string like this. It will understand that write a shell. Then if you want to give a string, we shall give something known as array. I'm not sure array at the moment, but let me show you even here. So if you don't find me again using array somewhere later on in the program, please don't worry. What I want to explain here, you just last week what I'm saying. I give assumption. If I say my name, if I want this name of this program to be there, we shall put one as a square bracket. Now inside the square bracket, we specify the number of letters that name will be containing. Like give assumption, if my name is David, I have to maybe have maybe approximately 6 characters there. However much the name is consisting of 5 letters. Why am I putting 6 characters? It's because I'm including even for the closing or for extra for my program so that I don't get errors. So give assumption, let us put 10, and then I'll ask it for you. So my name, maybe my name is going to be David. So if my name is going to be David, I'll put there like maybe give us something like 10 characters inside there, and maybe inside there. So this what simply means in these simple terms that a string, to expect to understand this that the string, we always put an array, whereby an array is going to be like a group of elements in one row. So in one row, so it will be like 10. You understand, it will be like 10 characters inside there in the program. Let me not waste time. I will explain all of this time when I come to scan it, which we are heading to, so that I can even make sure I make a program, a simple program, and get to understand. This will be like essential. Don't worry. Now members, we so far down with those data types. There are some few data types that maybe happen not to illustrate them down for you. But members, like I've said to you, you can always go and cross-check them in your programs, and I'll always explain them to you. So if maybe I happen to put some few stuffs here, don't worry, we can always figure them out. Now let me take you straight and I'll show you all those stuffs we have been talking about within a period of 5 minutes. We make a simple program around them so to use them out. Okay, fine. Let me just come back down here and try to make with you guys a program. I remember using data types like maybe integers, a float, and a double. We happen to look at char, and we also have to look at a string. But maybe you don't have to use them anyway. Let me just explain with you guys. We set integers for counting numbers, float for numbers with decimal place values, but the storage is a bit small compared to this one with the double, because the double also stores number with the decimal place value, but the storage is big. Then the char, this is for a single letter, and then the string for multiple letters, or called a place where it stores letters with the many place values. Let me just take you through this chance to take into one of scanf, then I use those stuffs there. What's a scanf? A scanf is whereby we expect the element to be grouped from the user. Like if assumption, if I want to get the area of the circle, and I maybe go to use integer, you can always use integer or other stuff there, as long as it's not a char or a string. Remember, this is char and string, they don't store letters. So let me just come and give assumption maybe int a. Now give assumption maybe if I say int a in a simple term, it could be just before we get to scan the integer string. We have maybe the area of the circle. Remember, the area of the circle is the same as having pi r squared. That implies if I say area is equal to the radius is going to be maybe 3, if the width is 2 maybe. And don't forget the pi. So pi can also be defined as a constant. We can just say maybe pi is the same as having maybe, let's say pi, the same as having 3.14, if that's what you're taking. And then you can also define another called area. Area is what we don't know, is what we're looking for. So you can also come just down here and say maybe area is equal to 1 minus radius, actually pi r squared. So which is going to be pi times r times r. That's the same as r squared. So if you want to print for you now radius of a circle, meaning area of a circle, it's just same as giving down when you as print. Then I come down here and I say maybe the area of the circle is %d, because here we use integers in the area. So otherwise outside the here I'll just put 1 minus area like that. Now that's how we happen to get that. So if I happen to come and compile this program and maybe also happen to run it at the same time, you'll discover that now the area of a circle is that. I think you can see from the calculation which is that. So what's this in a simple term I'm going to explain to you. Now the answer you have happened to go to here is constant, because we live in the area is 2, the radius 2. What if the system does not have such kind of stuff? We don't have the radius that someone would like to use his or her own radius. Then to call us to use something new which is different from maybe giving the value of the radius. We don't want the value of the radius to be given by the user. We don't want to give it here on the system. We want the user to enter his or her own maybe radius. Now, in a simple term, if you want such kind of cases whereby the radius of a circle is given by the user, then that implies this one is going, you don't give it, leave it. And that's what now I call to one of us using scanf, whereby the scanf, the user will be entering his or her own value. Give assumption here. I can simply come down here on my program and explain the pieces of code. I'm just going to move this so that I don't confuse you. We already say area of a circle, so instead of giving the area of the circle here by you happening to maybe give it then, just first maybe to do this one here. We already have that now, so hold us. Now, here remember we don't have any value, but we'd like the scanf to pick for us from the user. I can simply tell the program that printf, whereby maybe I'll tell the program that I would like enter. Tell the user to enter the area. Enter the areas. So tell the program to enter the areas I can always put a \n whereby I will need the user to enter the information. Then down here I will say scanning, whereby in simple term scanning is going to be scanning the value from the user himself. Whatever the user enters, as long as letters and the counting numbers will be treated to be that correct. So inside here we just say %b, whereby %b is going to be talking about the data type, which is an integer, then from that. Then outside here, if you want that stuff to be treated, once the letter you have here is R, don't forget that is what you will put here, like that. Now after putting there still, my friends, it will not work to some extent. In fact, when you happen to run this program, I repeat, you will just get an error. So I give assumption I happen to come to run. It is not so that there's no problem. But if I put even something like maybe that's the areas or even just 6, you'll discover that now we shall be getting error in this system. Now that one takes us into one last error in the program at the same time when we are handling this. Now let me show you this and the reason as to why we happen to do that error. Remember we said that the radius of the circle, which so far we have now tried to calculate here, tell the user enter the radius, which is okay. Why are we getting the error? It's because of the storage. We said integers, which is fine. Now to make this one does not give you any problem, increase on the storage. And whenever to increase on the storage in the program, we use one as logical bits. I'll show you that one when we reach from logical operators very soon. So whenever you want to increase on the storage, always use that so that we get more and try to increase on the storage in the program. So that when you happen now to save and try to compile this program again, you will discover that there is no error in the program. And when you happen now to run, and I say enter the values, it can always wait for us. I think you can see after clicking enter, it's not giving us an error until when we happen to use it. So let us not try to capture the area. Remember the area of the sample is same as having that. So that implies to be scanning the area of the sample, the radius of the sample, and after doing so to keep it in the storage. Otherwise, then it will be telling us now to print or to tell the program that now you can always use the radius happen to scan from the user, then you can always use it in the file. So this is it. So maybe area of the sample is, remember it's %b, but come down here. Now get me here. When you come outside here, please don't even use logical this one. Instead, just use your area because the storage has really been increased. And then here we're just summing it up. We're just not trying to find out that. Is it okay? So here we just put area like that. So when happen to compile this program, you'll discover that there is nothing there that maybe our C++ is going to be a problem. So if you happen to run this, trust me, it will be waiting for me to enter the radius, then after that we'll calculate the area. If the radius is below, then the area is going to be that. So it'll be calculating for me stuff like that for using scanner. So members, at the moment you have just learned how to use a scanner. So get me, I've already explained in integers, that implies you can still use it in a double and the rest of them. You just use one on the string. Then members, you can also still use for char. Let me just use this string where I say members. I'll show you how to use a scanner with the string and I explain to you arrays. Then if you don't find arrays later alone with me, I'm going to explain just a piece of code here and then you'll understand how to use it. Now get me here. How do you use array? String with a char. So whenever a string is not, don't write a string as a string. The C program does not know a string as a string. Instead, if you want to show that it's a string, make it to be a char. Then you can specify what you want. Give assumption maybe names. I said to do so, you can always increase the storage. Give assumption maybe 10. So that's it. So maybe I give assumption and we simply say maybe F name, whereby F name means the first name. So if that's what you want from the program, I'm just going to copy also name and just take that. So if I come down here and say maybe print name, I'll tell the system maybe enter your first name. If that's what you're trying to tell the system, that please enter your first name, I'll use a scanner to scan the values from the user. So I'll say maybe scan F, whereby I'll expect the user to enter the first name. So here I remember telling you whenever using a string, it's going to be %C, %S, %S. Don't forget that whenever using a string is %S, don't use %C. So that's it. That's where another difference is that. And also here outside, please write this name alone here, which you're going to be doing that. I'll come and put inside here. But again, the logic is that if I happen to compile this program, we discover that there's going to be an error. Why? I'll explain that to you. When you try to run, there's nothing there. But when I try to put the bit there, you discover that there's one thing I have also to add. And you might not see there the problem, because after they say this is the name, and I happen to put the name here, I'm imagining seeing there's no problem here in this program. I'm always going to advise you as a person who would like others to be good too, is that make sure you increase on the storage. Make assumption, put the any value enter. It's enough. There's no error. But if I had told you happen to say first name, last name, when expect on the output, it will be wrong. It's because of the storage. Otherwise, I advise you also increase on the storage here of the program, whereby the program will be understanding what you're giving it, and also it can cater for those values you happen to take the program also. So the same applies when you happen to put it here maybe daily, there's no problem because you have already also increased on the storage. And when you still hit enter, and then that's when the program will wait for you for next stuff. So that's it, my friends. I give assumption, I say my name is that. I can always reuse the same system and say maybe printf, where I can simply tell the program that maybe my name is, instead of saying David, it will be picking from any user who might have entered the name. And I've said here's going to be %S, then come down here and always use this. Then copy the rest of them. We can copy the single one. Can just use the offnet because you have already increased on the storage here. Here we're just reusing it again. So if you happen to compile the program here and maybe happen to run it to avoid errors, that's what you should always do. So give assumption, if I say maybe my name is David, like that, if I press enter, it should tell me my name is David, or if our name is David, something like that, my friends. Now, I may not talk anymore about any other stuff about the moment, apart from those few stuffs I've so far happened to explain to you. Let me just take you straight into what known as constants, and then we'll see what next. Now, I think I've been explaining to you guys these pieces of codes. Let me hope you guys will master them. If at all you're still new to programming, I will advise you, please subscribe to my channel, and you can always comment down and tell me what you guys would like to do. For this programming video, which I said will last for 130 minutes, approximately 2 hours, because of arrangement, I would like to give you complete stuff, and then it will be on your side to always download the video down, or always see how you can watch it online, and you can always ask me your questions. Let me just take you straight into one last let's just check into what known as constants. What are constants? Constant, this is just like values which are already there, and for them they will not change. Just like pi is the same as having 3.14. The gravity which is 10 or 9.99 or 9.8, 9.998, something like that. So they are not saying they're always there. So there are two types of constants in C programming. How to write them down? We have the one for hash define, and I have another one which we call one as const. So let's look at one at a go. So the one with the hash define just use the preprocessor. So in this following, you shall be finding them or shall be using them in the program. How do you write a constant there? So give assumption, if you would like to use this one of hash define, what you're going to do is that you just go on the top of this main function and write it here. Remember, it's going to be treated as a preprocessor directive, or one as the processor directive. So you define it outside here and you give us something, so maybe define the length, give us something which is the length of the class or the rectangle, and the length is maybe 5. Please don't put a semicolon whenever you're defining a constant and you're using hash define. Don't put there any semicolon. Instead, just write something like that. I give assumption also you're going to be having maybe hash define. Make sure you use small letters and define maybe width. I'm using this calculator just to give you straightforward. Maybe width is 6. And maybe that's what I have. And you can even define what you already know you have in the program. Give assumption. You can define from here maybe even your that which is sound. Any other stuff that you like put in the program. Then you can always come inside here. So at the moment I'm using one as hash define. So come back inside here. You can also now define our integers or our area, if that's what you want. Remember, you know very well area is same as having length times width. So use the same stuff you happen to use inside your program here. Is what you can always place them here, and that's also with it. That's it. So area same as having something so that area same as having length times width. So if you read area of a rectangle or whatever you're finding out, you can always do that from here down. Then you can simply tell the program that maybe area is percent. Remember, we use the integer, so that implies it's going to be %b. And if you happen to terminate that, then so if you happen to compile here, it should give you approximately 20%. So that's how to use type of cell in 20 because it's 5 times 6. That's that. Now that's how you can always use a constant in your program. Now there's another thing that maybe I can simply illustrate about that, using one as the const. How do you use a constant to define for the area? Now whenever you use a constant, you don't need to define it on top of our program. So that's it. Just move that from here. Now if you are to define a constant using const, remember const is also a format of putting up a constant. So if you are to do such kind of stuff, the remaining stuff remain the same. Then inside here, instead of having like a stuff, you don't define the stuff like this. So you can always say maybe const, then you say maybe length, if that's what you want to find out. And you say maybe length is same as having maybe is 5. And also going to be having maybe a constant there, the simple terms is also going to be width. And then maybe the width is 6. Okay. Remember we already said area is same as having that. So if you say const length in the simple term, in the constant when you're defining what known as hash define, you could just say hash define length blah blah. We could not talk about the data type. But whenever we're using one known as constant, please I request you make sure you use it. So I'm just going to put my integers because I want to do an integer. And also if this is also going to be an integer. Then that implies also for this time around, I will just use actually a const in a simple term to explain all those pieces of code. So it will be treating this one as a constant still, but constant we need this to be something there. So I'm just going to move this one so that I deal with the constants because the constants have important pieces of code. So if you happen to come and compile this program and maybe happen to run it, okay, let's wait. If we happen not to come back to run it, it has to give us the same thing that we used with the hash define. So my friends, that's how we can always use constants in our programs. Let me just take you straight in this period of time into what known as how to use what known as operators. Now, what an operator? An operator is just like a symbol that tells the compiler to perform a specific mathematical or logical manipulations or operations. So C is relation built in operators and provides the I can simply say the following types of operators that we are going to be using. Okay. So just like I've defined for you what's an operator, so not okay. We are going to look at arithmetic, relational, logical, and maybe assignment and increment. So we just straight forward start with some few arithmetic. Now with arithmetic operators is whenever we have the following. We have the addition, multiplication, subtraction, the modulus, something like that. We shall simply say we happen to be adding right now. Those stuffs we are seeing adding many times. Those are just arithmetic operations. Maybe on arithmetic that's what happened at the yet is what we must have. Then I give us something from A, and A is equal to maybe 5. That's modulus. And maybe I have maybe nth B is same as having 2. And if I say maybe find the nth C, which nth C we don't know. And in a simple term, we don't even just to find that. We want to find the modulus of C. What do I try to simply ask here? That I want to find the remainder. Now give assumption like I happen to say maybe that C is same as having 5. Modulus is multiplication sign. C. No. Modulus is the percentage sign, not multiplication. Sorry for that. Now, modulus of a number is simply what known as the when I happen to divide 5, which is a simple term. If I happen to divide maybe A, which is 5, with the C, with the B, which is 2, then it will give us the answer for C. So in a simple term, when we try to divide that and that, we want the remainder. So modulus of a number is the same as having the division, but they want the remainder. If it is 5 divided by 2, the answer will be 1, because we need the remainder. We are not after how many times has gone. We don't want for the 2. If it's same as having 4 divided by 2, the answer is going to be 0. And we divide the 4 by 2, we're going to get 2. Now we're not after 2, we want the remainder, which is 0. That's what the modulus of the numbers is like. So it's what I'm going to just illustrate again. That's it. So I'll simply say maybe C is percent this is 16 here, and just come and put it here outside here. So to definitely know what to be doing, which is same as having the modulus of that very number. So that's it. So when happen to run, you get just like I've said to you. So that's what I can simply say that I have not yet given the arithmetic operation. So let me just leave that off, and I still just change this topic of ours into bit relation operators. So what's relational? Relation now, this is just we're going to be looking at the relationship between the following. And in the relationship, we shall be using one mass, the less than sign, the greater than sign. Is just like the comparison of the two. You get with the relational operators. So we're just going to be comparing the following programs of ours. If you try to look at the pieces of code we have, we are going to find that if maybe A is equal to B, what should happen? We already have that definition. Whenever using relational operators, we have to do some stuff like that. So this is a condition that inside here we shall be putting the piece of code. If assumption for say A, if A is equal to B, what should happen? We should print that maybe come down inside here, then you put a print A, maybe if A is equal to B, print maybe A is equal to 2. That's a piece of code we expect to be executed when A is equal to B. Otherwise, the otherwise condition out here, we shall be using one as else. Now with else, for instance, does not have a condition. Instead, it just have a string of statement or the print-out statement. It's just waiting to be printed out. Otherwise, I will simply say maybe we don't or we don't. We just use that same English of mine and then illustrate that. So we say that if A is equal to B, This is where I get the condition. So in simple terms, this is going to be a condition. And this is the statement. But for else, it does not have a condition. It just have the printout. So this is it. If A is equal to B, we expect this code to be executed. Otherwise, if it is not true, we expect this one. So this one does not wait. As long as this is wrong, then we just expect this to be out. And that's it. So if you happen to compile this program, and maybe we happen to now to run it, let's make that run it. If you happen to compile and run it, I think you can simply see freedom is because A is not equal to B. So in otherwise, if A is equal to B, I keep assumption this is also true, just like the other ones. We can simply demonstrate that and simply know that to happen to run it, this component A is equal to B. So my friend, that's it. You may also just take you straight into what we must do. Now with the relation operators, these are the three steps you can place and you shake up. You can shake up with equal sign, you can shake up with one is the less than, the greater than, the less than or not equal to. So those are just the steps you have to deal with the relation operators. Let me just take you straight into one of the logical operators. Now with the logical operators, we have to do the following steps. With the logical operators, we shall be given some few conditions. You get it? This is how the logical operators behave. We mainly have two types of logical operators. We have one as logical and one as logical OR. Now this is it what I have explained to you. The how does the logical AND behave? Now the logical AND behave in this way. If A and B are all equal. If I give us something just to you. If I'm at OSP Pro and I'm a Ugandan developer, then I'm watching one video. That one there I'm using logical AND. Now with the logical AND expected to be at OSP Pro or at the Ugandan developer at the same time, then maybe I'll watch the same video. But if at all you're using logical AND and you try to give a kind of condition like this, that if I'm a Ugandan developer and in the OSP Pro, then you give assumption you are not in OSP Pro, you are on another channel, then you're not watching the same video. Now with the logical OR behaves in this way. Either I'm a Ugandan developer or maybe I'm at Ugandan developer or I'm YouTube, I'll still get the same video. So with the logical OR, as long as one is correct, the rest will be expected to be correct. Then with the logical AND, it expects all what condition you're giving should be the same. Let me just illustrate it down here. If I happen to say maybe this is my resource of code, there is going to be a condition. This one plus this one. So that's where we're going to be hoping to do. So give us something. I say if A is equal to B, so this is my condition. And we also proceed since I must have maybe A modulus B. Remember, modulus of A and B is 1. Remember, we're looking at the remainder there. So we just put this inside somewhere so that always we use it. So I'm going to use the logical AND, and the logical AND is given like that. Give assumption if I say that's it. If A is equal to B and A is equal to C, then the following codes inside will be executed. I will simply say maybe printf, and maybe I'll illustrate and I'll simply say maybe they are all equal. Now get me, the following piece of code will only illustrate to be true if at all what I'm happening to do in the program, they are all equal. Otherwise, if they are not all equal, then the piece of codes are maybe trying to say it will not be executed at all. You get? if you try to cross check, that's what we have. So let's go to books. It's a bit slow. I start to cross it again. It's kind of slow at the moment. This is it. So I'm trying to simply say here that if they're all equal, then expect this code to be executed. Otherwise, if they are not all equal, then we don't expect anything to be printed. So is A equal to B? No. Now, with the logical AND, it tries to be like this. We only need the yes and the yes. We don't need the no, no, yes. We need the yes here, we need the yes there. Then the logical AND will be true. You get my point? Otherwise, this otherwise condition, the else condition, is one which will be executed out. Otherwise, I will simply say the when we want equal. I'll simply let's do it like that. So if I happen to compile my pieces code, you cross check they're equal. If you just say A is not equal to B, then definitely the rest of the stuff is not. So expect this condition to be executed out. That's it, they are all equal. So that's with the logical then with the logical O, it's just a pipe. And just will cross check the machine. Pipe. I'm not with where it is. Okay, I'm just looking for on screen so that I can show you the pipe. So this is where we need to change the pieces of codes of that so that you can make it to be a pipe. So just come back here, we need a pipe. So we shall just have to press shift and that's it. So that implies that's where my pipe is. So I'll just come and click on here, we need to. So also press shift again, and that's it. So that's it my friends, that's what I'll simply say So this pipe is this one as logical O. Now for it to behave in this, is A equal to B? If A is equal to B, to give assumption, this is true. And A is equal to C, it's no. Now this is how the logical O behaves. The logical A will be treated when this side is true and this side is true. The answer is true. So you expect this code to be executed. Otherwise, if this side is true, all this side and this side is false, still this code will be executed and to be the correct one. But if this side is false and this side is also false, then it is false. So don't forget about this kind of way how I have been illustrated for you, my friends. So that's how I'll simply say how to use a logical and logical O. Okay. There are many other different maybe kind of operators like increments. So I'm just done with the logical at the moment, so we just go to increment. The rest to my friends will find them outside there on cross-check, comment me on my video, and then I believe I'll have time to illustrate them down for you. Now let me also show another one which is called the logical increment and increment. So just illustrate them. Increment. What's increment? Increment is just same as adding something to what you have. An increment simply same as a simple term removing or replacing what you have. Give us something, just go choose one variable. There. If I say maybe print from A, then this part of the value for A is just 2. Okay, A is, that implies I use percent V, and that implies the value for A plus A. The value for A is 2, isn't it? I think that's it. The value for A is 2 because we know A is 2. Now, if I happen to just change it here, if I want one, let me start with increment. If I want to say, I want to increment A, and I just say A++. In simple terms, there are two types of increments. This is one of post increment, and there's one is prefix increment. With the post increment, how does it behave? You say I'm going to use A, then I'll add A. I'll add the 1 to it. This plus plus means adding 1. So in a simple term, we'll happen to compile this piece of code, and maybe we shall happen to run after compilation. You will discover that the piece of code that we happen now to try to tell the program here that this is what so far we have. We like that the point when we happen to click to run, it will give us 2 because it is post increment, just like I've just stated down to you. How about if I happen now to just copy the same piece of code and I happen to come down here and I still simply say the same thing with what I just want to do is just use backslash A, whereby the pieces of code will be a different kind of line. So whereby if I happen to compile this program I happen to use, you'll discover the first value was A and the next value is now 3. The first value was 2 and the next value is now 3. That's the post increment, whereby we expect to first use A, then next line we shall add 1 to what's already exist. At the same time, I'm going to illustrate one as a prefix increment. With the prefix increment simply means that first add me, then I will use. So just add the same pieces of code here. Just have illustrated down to you that with the post or with the prefix increment means first add, then we shall use. So come back here again. If you try to illustrate this here now, is that if you try to run this piece of code, you will discover that we shall have 3 and 4. We shall no longer have 2 like last time we used to have. So that's how we use one as the prefix increment. Now same applies to the decrement. We have prefixed decrement and prefixed increment. Like prefixed increment here, we have minus. Yeah, that's it. So that's what so far we have. So if you happen to compile this piece of code and maybe happen to run it down here, and happen to run it, you will discover that we say first introduce then use. So that's how we use with one as the decrement prefix. And you can also use one as the post decrement. With the post decrement also is the same thing. You can also just have the pieces of code like that, whereby it will be same as saying first use then we shall reduce. So in simple terms, that's how it's like. So members, thanks for watching that part of the video Let's now go to this session where we are going to be learning how to use what known as real decision-making conditions. I hope it's not fine with you. Let's just start step 1 into what known as decision-making. Now with decision making, mainly we are going to look at if statements. Look at if statement. We shall look at what known as switch, as well as taking up into, and I'll also take you down into what known as loops. So let me start with the first one, if statements. So if you try to say print A is equal to having maybe 1, and also have maybe print B, the same as having maybe 2. And the same with NC, the same as having maybe 3. So get it. And they say if, whereby inside here, that's going to be a condition now. There's going to be a condition, and then inside here going to be a statement. So if A is less than 1, or if A is less than 1, you get? So here I'm just trying to write some pieces of code. So if A is less than 1, so we can also use logical AND now. So say just if A is less than 1, maybe AND maybe B is less than maybe 2. Then expect this piece of code. So print for me down. They are or less than 2. I mean, that's a piece of code we want here, or the one I would like. Now here, whenever using if statement, this is how if statement is done. We have the first condition, which is if, the next condition, which is else if, and the last condition, which is known as else. This is what simply last year for us one was the if condition, meaning the if condition, the if statement. We have if. Now this what you have seen is an if statement. And after then we have one as else if. Now with else if we have the same thing. We may have also the same pieces of code. I'm just going to show you inside there. Maybe if B is greater than or maybe if B is less than 1, and maybe C is less than C is less than 2, then you can execute from the following piece of code. I think you can now also see how we can always reuse using our condition in the program. So simple, I will simply say here that maybe let's go to say this is greater. We know very well that B is less than B is we just make this one literally. If B is less than 3 and C is greater than 2, then execute for us that. Otherwise, which is an else condition, here it will be just having a print out statement. So I'm just going to say here, print out here. I'm just going to say we don't. No. That's the piece of code I will simply say I have in there. You get? So this is the piece of code I have there. You get? Now get me here. If try to cross check, I use the logical hand and I told you already how logical hand will behave. Logical hand knows that if this is wrong, whether this is correct, everything is wrong, it should not see this piece of code. It will happen to come to the next piece of code. If this is true, and that's true, it's what we take. Otherwise, if all these pieces of code is wrong, then the else condition is what will be executed. So that's how we simply use one as if, else if, and else. Okay? So expect the second piece of code to be executed using the or less than 2. And that's it because B is less than 3 and C is greater than 2. That's correct. Members, that one simply take us into what we as nested if state condition. Now with the nested if condition behaves this way, it will be if inside here or inside here. This is how it behaves. If this one is true, you can also put another condition inside it. Okay? You can either put another if condition into something, whereby you can simply say maybe here that A is greater than 0. If A is greater than 0, or if A is equal to 1, then you print from it here. Also print A is equal. Don't have time, just trying to don't worry about the spelling. This is what I expect to be executed otherwise inside here. Now else here, you could also put another else condition. It's okay. You can put an else condition, or even you can put also one as else if. But otherwise, if you try to cross check, this piece of code was wrong last time. So don't expect that code to be executed for us now. Okay? So expect if at all I happen to copy the same piece of code, and I just happen not to paste it inside our this one which was correct, and then I try to say A is equal to 1, then execute for us that. Otherwise, if I happen to say that, or if you try to also put what as an else condition here, you can also put an else, depending on how you need tomorrow to put your program. So I'm just going to try to copy this with a piece of code. So that implies if this is true, then the following codes will be looked into, will be checked. Otherwise, when they are checked, if this is also correct, this and this will be printed. So if this is correct and this is wrong, then expect this. So that's how this code will be executed out. So if you try to cross-check, I hope there's no error. And if you try to run, members, I was expecting the stuff. So I can always just bypass that by putting the backslash a, whereby when they try to look into the program and try to cross-check, we shall discover that now the stuff is like that. Is it okay, my friends? I still remind you, if you are watching this video and really seeing what we are doing is nice, then I advise you please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, that's great so far, and that's really nice. Now members, let me simply say that I've also shown how to use if statements, and we have even shown how to use nested if statements. So let me simply say, I leave that for now about the if statements. Let me go and take you straight into what we must switch. Okay, I'm just going to show you now about switch because we're done with if conditions. So let's just cross-check now on switch. Now how does switch behave? The switch also may behave just like I've seen the if. Give assumption, I've used here int a is equal to 1. So if int a is equal to 1, simply what I can just go down to here that if a is equal to 1, I may use a switch to pick from an element within the program. Get me here. This is how the stuff behaves. So this is the structure for the switch, whereby I'm going to now split out down here. There will be a case, case 1. Okay. And then here it will be maybe a statement which will be printf statement. And then on the last of the if on switch, we shall be using on this if break. This is how we last do a switch. And you have the default value of it, which is default. That implies the default for it is just like one as else condition. It's just going to be waiting for a print out statement. Something like that. So let me just try to organize these steps very well so that I happen to just click on the pieces of code of mine here. So that's what we have. I give assumption. We say int a is equal to 1. So give assumption maybe these people are in the database or these people are in somewhere and I would like to pick those codes in my program. Then I can simply say that a is equal to 1. So if a is equal to 1, I can give a condition here now, whereby here you put the name or you put the variable. Here you put the variable. This was the first variable. Now here it will be looping into the value. So this is the value. So if the value is 1, give assumption and make this to be 2. I can also copy the same piece of code and I reuse it just piece down. I put that here. I'm just going to have that here. So give assumption, the neighbor is the value of a is 2, because here is 2. I'm just going to just put this piece of code because just copy that piece of code and just paste it here now. I put the same piece of code here, I'm just going to change this box there. So this one can always go to last part. So my friend, that's it. Now get me here. This is what we have. We have this piece of code which loops from there here. Now get me. We have this so-called warning. We have that switch which I've said that's a variable, and if that's our variable name, we have the value here. So to check which one is correct. Now this is how I give the structure for a switch. The value, the variable, this is the value, and the break. So the break will handle this in this way. If to come into this piece of code and cross check that this is the real value which was there by that variable, then this code will be executed. Otherwise, after executing that code, it will break, it will end the program. It will only end with this code. And if you cross check and say that the code here was not 1, it is maybe 2, then this code will be executed. Otherwise, if none of the codes there are the one which is there, then we expect this condition to be present in our program. So if I compare this piece of our codes and happen to run it, we shall expect the program to give us the value for A, which is 1 in this time around, because that's the value we happen to put in the variable for A. So if you happen to run the program, expect A to be 1. So the value is 1. Let me just illustrate that for you, just changing this one here to maybe 2. So if that's 2, the value is 2, then I happen to compare the program. So you'll definitely understand that it's going to be 2. That implies if I happen to make this one to be maybe 4, then in a simple term we shall not have any of those steps there. Expect this code to be executed. So that's it, my friends. Just like I said, we don't know the value here. So that's what we happen just say it down and that's it. So members are listening to say that's how we use the switch. So I'm not going to take any more time there. I'll be just putting those steps to you. Let me just show you right now how to use what known as a loop. Now in loops we have two types of loops. We have mainly 3 types of loops. We have what known as let's simply say we have 2 types of loops. We have one known as while loop. While and one as for loop. So let me start one by one. Just start with those steps first. So let's try to. So that's what we have. Just remember those are my comments. Just the loop in my program. So let me show you a loop at the moment. Now in the loop we can always. I'm going to start with what we must have. A while loop. Let's start with the while loop. So how does a while loop behave? What's the loop by the way? Okay, sorry if I've been very fast, but that's trying to find about time. What's a loop? A loop is just like we would like something to continue happening continuously. We want something to be continuing working, or give assumption if you look at the music's playing on your radio or on your phone, and it's continue playing the same music continuously. After the music finishing again, the music maybe restarts. That's what we call a loop. Again, whereby the program is still doing the same things, playing the same music continuously. That's what I would simply call a loop. I hope that's fine. Let me just show you now how to use a loop, while loop. Now with the while loop, I give assumption saying with end A, I want to give assumption if A is equal to maybe 0. My initial point where to start from. Then if I say here loop for me, I will come down here and I will put what known as the condition. Okay. Maybe loop for me for A is less than 10. That implies in a simple term, I would like this program of mine to pick the first value which is 0 and to move from 0, which the initial first point, up to less than 9, 10. That implies it's going to print for me pick point in number line right from 1 right from 0 up to 9, which definitely is like 5 to 6, 10. So I give assumption I may read the program to print for me. Maybe my name is David. Oh, my name is OSP. If that's what I say, my name is OSP. But I don't want to just say my name is OSP. I want the program to print for me my name 10 times. So if that's what you want, just go put your backslash n so that each time it prints the different line. So that's it. So when I happen to run this program, it will be what was continuously, because I didn't put the condition that stop that. So I'll just come down here and I put for A++. Where A+, I mean add for me, continue playing it, whereby it will start from number 0 up to 9, and then the program will stop. So if you forget that, then that will not work out for you. So that's it. That's why you can simply get 10 people. If you are not getting what I'm going to mean, then you can also come down outside here and just say for A++, whereby A++ in simple terms, it will be, in fact, it's just printed here. If in the simple term, if you try to cross-check into this program, it will be picking first the value of A, whereby from the first value up to the last value, which is going to start from 0, and otherwise it will reach up to the last value, which is going to be 10. Just put that. Let's do it again. This is it. Here is that. This is it. So the reason why it's not doing anything there is because I didn't use %e or %e. So it will be picking to the value and then giving me out. So let me just check that again so that we can always get back in the same track. My name is, I'm putting it behind the program. So let's get so that I can, let's get through that right from number 1 to the last one. Yeah, remember this is it. So you find that the first value where the starting point of the number begins, which is 0 up to less than 9, up to less than 10, which is 9. So that's how you can use a while loop to loop into your program and print something continuously. So I don't know which program more you'd like to do so, but that's how you can always use a while loop to do it. Let's use the same program using for loop. Do the same program using a for loop here, which I just need to define the variable, which is A. We don't need that, so I'll just try to move this as a code. I'll just need to cut this because I need to use this one continuously again. Let's move that. But I don't need this. So inside here, I'll just talk 1 minus 4. Then I'll put here what class condition, whereby you simply say for A is equal to 0, that is the initial point, we terminate. And then you say for A is less than 10. Then I will say what minus for A++, that is why you simple term with the for loop. You will be writing all your pieces of code inside the same then inside here, we shall be just executing this one here. That would like to continue looping within the program. That's it. Okay. Whereby this we have defined the variable, then this we have handled the stuff of ours, whereby we're happy to put everything that has to be inside the program. And then inside here, it's like trying to protect the program to loop into. So if you happen to compile this program and try to run it, then you discover that it's going to be the same way how to use a while loop is the same way we happen to use one as for loop. Okay, that's great, my friends. If you have been happy with what Sophia learned, then you can also just subscribe to my channel and say, man, thanks for watching. Okay, now let's also go and check on how to use a do while. Now, with the do while still, I'll do the same thing. Just also still cut that off because it lays at the moment. You just try to move it again back. With the do while, how much right there do? Open up here. Now here is where you're going to be printing that piece of code of ours. But outside here, this will be open bracket. This is a closing bracket. Outside here is what we're going to be putting, is where we're going to be putting our wire. Like that. From here, don't forget always we have the comma. So it is here where we're going to be doing our condition. Is less than 10. Is it okay? Then inside here is where we're going to be putting in our increment. Now, as I'm winding up, I'm going to show you something. I believe this is going to be the same thing, but I'm going to show you something too as I wind up. I think that's it. Now, let me also explain to you, my friends, this time around. What I'll simply try to talk about is we have so first now to use while, do while, and follow. To do the same statement that we would like with the program. That implies you can put a calculator using while, you can put a calculator using while, you can put a calculator using follow. The statement is the same. Or whatever program, or whatever system that you would like the program to have, and continue looping, and after looping, continue going back. You can always use that. Now give assumption, I happen to use A++. A++ simply means that add one to what exists. That's why in the approach you guys are increment and increment. The same applies here. If you don't want to say A++, this is simply the same as saying that A is equal to A plus 1. So this piece of code simply works the same way how the rest of the pieces of code we have been doing. So that this piece of code, it will print for us the same thing what we have been doing. So if you don't want to say for A++, my friends, you can also use that piece of code. And also if you don't want to use that one, then I also advise you, also you can also come back here and just say A, give a space, then say plus equal to 1. So the same piece of code also illustrate the same way what we have just been doing. Okay. So whereby here you discover that that's what we expected, and that's it. So you can also handle us all stuff in all ways how we have to be doing in our programs. So my friends, if we try to proceed right from the time where we have to the program, that's where now we have been to reach. My friends, at this piece of time, a point of time, let's now see how to use functions. Now what's a function? A function is just something important. Or anything in our function, anything in our function is a function. Now in the C program, there's some things that you have to know whenever you talk about function. A function just simply means a piece of code that we can always continue using it. That's what you call a function. You write this piece of code that you can continue calling it in your program. I give assumption I want to write, try to compile this simple program of ours here and try to run it. You'll discover that this is what we happen to say we have. And we have nothing printed out for us in the program. So if I want to write a function in this program, simply what I'm going to do, I'm going to just write maybe give assumption. I want to write a function of something that can print hello world. So I go on top of my program and I also put one as a preprocessor there. So I can define my function as maybe 8, and then I'll just going to say maybe but after doing so, I have to make it clear that. So this one simply turns into a function. Okay. This one turns into a function. In fact, you can just say hello. This is going to be a function. So I'll copy that very stuff. I don't want to write the program inside. I want to use a function. So you look, main is a function, and main starts from here and ends here. Come outside where there's main. Let's do that there. Now instead of having the same color, you will be okay. There. Okay. So this is a function. If you want to just a function which can print hello world. Okay. Maybe simply say hello world. Wow, that's great. But if you happen to compile this program for us, it can't be printed out for us on the screen. That's the most surprising stuff. In fact, I can even move this rock so that we get to get clear stuff. So we just want to move it inside here by so that not having that line we are seeing there. So we just going to write on this get char, where get char means get character. In simple terms, not telling me what first of all to clear my program. And that's see, my piece of code is very clear. That's it. So if you happen to come back here and just try to run that program of ours, try to run, there's nothing there. Now we need the program to just print for us hello world. If we want this program to print for hello world, what we need now to carry is this, which is a hello. This very statement here, hello, is what I will come and put inside the main function. Remember I told you from the beginning that the main function is the best function, or is the main function in any C program, that if it's not there to the program will not run. So the simple term here is like trying to simply say you have your C program somewhere else in another function, but you use the main function just for printing out your statements. Okay? And you call it by referencing by just giving one piece of code like hello, then call it by giving a function like that. So if now I come here to compile this piece of code and maybe happen to run it again, you'll discover that now I can simply say hello world. Okay? So that implies you can have as many functions as many functions in a C program. And then you just come and phrase it inside here. So members, I will simply say that's how you can create a function. Okay? I give assumption, I just want to move this, and I just want to make a program that can increase that to numbers. So I give assumption if you have A, into it is what you get. That's the value for A, and maybe you have the value for B. Maybe the value for B is that. You can also still get some for this, the numbers, if that's what you want. Some are same as say then A plus B, you get, and definitely what you need to return from the side. So here you would even use the return value, whereby now instead of saying return 0, you can simply say return from A and B, okay, which is the sum. So the next step is to be short, I may just simply say return from the sum, which is this one here. So definitely if the function is called this side out, and I tell the program to print for me now, so believe me, the program has to print for me the sum. So I will simply say maybe the sum of A and B is, remember since we are not here, that's percent B, come outside here and do sum. I would use a printout, I will use the actual return statement, but I may not use it in this structure at the moment. For example, we are winding up the entire now. For approximately 2 hours. So if you happen to try to run this, I think my friends you can simply see the simple way how you can simply understand C program. I believe me or not, we began like someone who are not going to study, and right now that's where we have reached. I just want to mind you that there's some few stuff that maybe we happen not to study yet. We happen to look at the function argument, how to deal with the function, how to call a function, how to phrase a function, how to declare a function. Members, we have already seen that. Okay? And right now where we have reached to somewhere in our C program. Okay. So if I will simply say that today is where I'm going to stop there, maybe lastly we look at one as a scope element or a scope rule. A scope in any programming is just like region of the program where a defined variable can be and is expected to be beyond that variable cannot be expected or accessed. So if we try to look, we have different types of scopes. We have the one as the local, the one as the global variables. And let me just try to show that one first. So this is what I can simply say with the function what I'm going to use. Just show this on the scope elements, and then I wind up within these 2 minutes because I'm a bit tired now. I think that's it, our program. So give assumption, if you try to declare something here, and maybe int a, just going to say b, or even maybe c. Now, this what you try to declare is what known as this is what known as local variables. Just what I gave you on the definition for scope. We're looking at the scope element at the moment. The scope rules. Okay. So you find that this is one as a local variable, which you can define like that. So in the action initiation of that variable, you happen to do like this: action initialization. That's where now we simply start saying that maybe a is equal to 2, if that's it. Maybe b is equal to 5. That's initialization of that variable. And then to print down, this will be down here. That's maybe c. And maybe c is equal to having maybe a, maybe plus b. Okay? That's it. So if you try to cross-check, if you want to print down, you can always print the statement down. So I've already explained to you about how to use a scope. So that's it. So you can simply say c is equal to, you can simply say %b. I don't waste the time, so we will just say c. Something like that. Whereby there's nothing deep. I'm just trying to show you how to use a scope and explain about scope elements, and that's it. Now, members, that's how I'll simply talk about at the moment, how to use a scope element, and how to explain about them. Then also, we have one as global variables. So with the global variables, you define them in the program, and whenever you define them, you can always reuse them. To give assumption, if I happen to come back to this idea, and I say, showing how to declare element globally. If I give assumption, I say maybe this is a, and I just put independently. This one becomes one as global variable. Okay? Actually, global variable declaration. How you declare variable globally like that. You get? And then just shake this. Just cut it from there. Don't put it on top of that program. Now this one becomes global declaration of a variable where we declared a globally. Then this one here, if I happen to have this here, I will just maybe say int that. So this one becomes a local variable. What you have inside there, the initiation will remain the same, ultimate remain the same. I'm just going to change these things a little bit so that you see the difference. I have this here, that's it. So this is C, maybe this is 4, and our A, the same as having maybe C plus B, like that. So when you want the value for, when you need the value for our A, I will simply do that. So whereby A, this is going to be A. So this one has global declaration of variable, whereby when happy to compile the stuff, this one is treated as a global variable, this one, which is outside the main function. So that's it also, we happen to click, and that's how to work. So members, I'll stop from that video because I'm left with just only 2 minutes, and then I'll simply say that I may not have a lot of time again to talk more about this main videos. Next, what would have been having or handling, it would have been now arrays, where I would now simply talk about how to do array in a program and how to make array continue. But my friends, if you know this video really helped you, what you have covered has also been something very, very nice. So I request you guys, if you know this video has really helped you, make sure you subscribe to my video. Don't forget to comment to my channel. Then another thing that I may be happy to let you know at the moment is that I have many different programming videos from different languages, If at all you got interested on what you see on the video that you happen to watch here with Ugandan developer and you always be pro, you can always check up on my description on the videos, because I'm going to be putting there even the Ugandan developer, the channel, and also always be pro. Then you can also check up on our website known as alwaysbepro.00 web host app, where I'm having all of those stuffs there together as a package. You can always go and pick the video we would like to watch, then we'll direct you straight to YouTube on my channel. So guys, thanks for watching. Please, I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you everyone.